Hello, Facebook friends. I was turning up my volume because I realized it's not where I want it to be. Hello, hello, hello. Happy Monday. I only have a few minutes, but I wanted to come on today to talk about making a decision because making a decision, it was funny. I was on the phone with one of my priestess sisters a couple weeks ago, and I said, how do people figure this out, or how do they realize they want to do this? And she's like, well, they make a decision. And I thought to myself, OMG, that is so hard. And I've been doing this for years. I've been practicing this make a decision for years, you all, because there have been times in my life where I needed to make some giant changes. One of those times was when I was going to get a divorce. And I had no idea. I had been wrestling with this idea for years, you all. I knew for a long time that my marriage wasn't working, but I didn't know how to get out of it. And I was so afraid to step into something new because I thought, what will it look like? What will happen to my children? How will I make money? How will I provide for my family? Where will I live? Oh my gosh. But once I made that decision, and really I had to hit a bottom. I had to surrender it over to like a greater intelligence. And I asked for help, and I just said, I learned from Tosha Silver, you just offer it. And I only started reading her books about a year ago. So I really didn't know about this word offer, but you could use the word surrender. And so I turned it over and I said, all right, here you go, higher power or source or Shakti or nature or whatever you call it. But I turned it over and I allowed then things to unfold. I just sat with what is. And then I was let out of my home. But making a decision sometimes is so hard. I mean, we can make a decision. Okay, what am I going to wear today? What am I going to eat today? And sometimes even that's hard for people. So how do we really come to terms with a decision? I think for me too, it started with a feeling. What did it feel like to be in that marriage that I was in? What were the feelings that I had? Well, I was unhappy. I felt unnoticed. I felt unheard, unseen. I felt as though I didn't matter. So those are all negative feelings about how I felt in that what was supposed to be a partnership. And this is great because you know what? I had a lot of work to do on myself. I had a lot of work to do on me. And remember, the journey is about knowing yourself, you all. And this morning I was even thinking as I was writing in my journal, I love talking to people about spirituality because so many of us, you all, we are spiritually bankrupt. We're majorly spiritually bankrupt. And we need to know who our spirit is. What does our spirit want to do here? What does our soul want to do here? Oh my gosh, did a ladybug just land on something? So it's so amazing to me when we start tapping into the spiritual piece of ourselves, what we uncover. And this was such a great story. So Friday night, I went to my Al-Anon recovery meeting, and this woman was the speaker, and she goes to a meeting that I go to on Tuesdays. And she told this story at the end of her talk about how she had asked Spirit, God, the universe, whatever, for a sign. And she said, I want it to be something purple. I want it to be somebody wearing purple. Oh, and look at me. I'm wearing like periwinkle and purple. And so she was at the end of her shift at the mall or wherever she works in retail. And she said in the last 10 minutes of her shift, this person walked in her store in head to toe purple. And she almost started bawling and she was freaking out. Now, the reason she told this story is because she heard me speak about my green dress last week and how I asked the universe for a sign or for help. And she was the one then that heard that and said, I need to talk about this story because it's impactful, you all. And over the weekend, I was dealing with something in my personal life with one of my children, and it just made me reflect and made me think about how when we ask for help, and my child had called me asking for help, how important that is. And when we feel like we can trust a certain person, or let's say for me, I trust the people that I'm in recovery with. We trust someone to share our emotions, our feelings. We ask somebody to help us process what we're going through because we don't need to go through it alone, you all. We don't need to live life alone. But the majority of time we do, or we don't trust in a higher intelligence or a greater energy or a greater somebody that maybe knows just a little bit more than us or just has a little more experience about a certain thing. I mean, that's what I do in my life. I look for people who are trustworthy, and I look for people who maybe have had a little more experience, here comes my friend, in their life, and they could give me some nuggets of wisdom or some inspiration or some help on something, hello buddy, that I need help on. But that way, then I can make a rational, logical decision about where I need to go forward or what I need to do differently in my life. And so if you're looking for a mentor, you are looking for somebody to give you inspiration, hope, motivation, a good listener, that's me, then I would love to get on a discovery call or a call to help you, especially if you're somebody going through divorce or you're somebody that is through your divorce and you just feel like, oh my gosh, what's on the other side of this? What am I going to do now? So I hope you all had a really wonderful weekend. It is gorgeous here today. It's beautiful outside. It was beautiful yesterday. I spent a lot of time in my yard, and I hope you get out in the sunshine. Vitamin D is good for us, you all. And I will look forward to connecting with you on here very soon. Have a super duper day. See you soon.